Welcome to Company Showcase, an advertising feature on HowStreet.com.
I'm Jim Goddard. I'm speaking with American Manganese CEO and President Larry Reaugh. Welcome back to the show, Larry.
Jim, it's a nice sunny day here, and I'm glad to be on the show.
Larry, you've just put out a news release. What was in it?
It was another one of the Tier 1 companies that we've been testing material for, and we had very high, not as high as the previous release, but within a couple of hundreds of the purity that we got back, and we were really happy with that, and I believe that the Tier 1 companies are happy too. And so that release went out. We've had, I would say, the majority of the steps that we've taken and the releases we have always been progressive. And the company is in a wonderful position. There's lots of interest in us. And we're getting a lot of press now, especially from just across the line in Washington. So it's been a great time for the company. Now, when we talk about the purities and everything like that, we arranged to send back the samples to the Tier 1 companies. They got booted upstairs in one case. In the other case, we're talking to the people that are decision makers, but they have to boot it around their technical group. And so I'm not sure when we will hear back on that, but, I wouldn't expect it for at least 3 weeks. So it's just another stepping stone for us. It was a time when we were getting absolutely no batteries submitting material to us. We were getting it from scrap dealers. And now it's the page has turned. Now, there's some really important news that came out. I know people have heard me talk about this predator trading that goes on in Canada, and especially on the venture exchange, which is, has very little liquidity. Now, that is going to change, and it's going to change positively for the investors. The predators have given them an opportunity to keep buying stock at very low prices. I know for the long-term holders it's been frustrating, but anybody else, any new guys or anybody wanting to beef up their position has been able to do so at, within that 20 to 24 cent range. And I think that now with what's happening in the markets with the predator trading, which I've been talking about, by the way, since for 6 years or more, and now we've got people that have more clout than I do talking about it. So there's been a movement called Save the Canadian Mining, an advocacy group created to give voice to the specific interested junior mining sector. So it's not just the junior mining sector. I want to remind everybody it's also the tech sector. Nobody's immune to predatory trading. And so the current rules in our equity markets have created an environment for predatory short-selling practices. So something's got to be done about it. Well, Save Canadian Mining is moving ahead with that. Now, they've got a lot of the regulatory organizations in Canada and Canadian securities administrators and the likes of one of the best-known financiers in the space, Eric Sprott, has come out against this short rule. And so it looks like there's a movement afoot to get the officials to recognize that this is damaging the market, because if it keeps up like this, we won't have a market in a few years. And so I'm happy to see that happening, and I just wanted to remind everybody that got tired of me hearing me talk about it for the last few years. It's a positive move forward. Now we have people that the authorities will listen to and the regulatory bodies will listen to, which will make things easier for us. So there's going to be some inclusion of that on my press release, even though I sent stuff out earlier in the week. But this is fantastic news, and I think the shareholders should embrace it because now it's going to be a level trading floor for the investors. You know, before it was predators dominated the trading in Canada, and now we'll have a level playing field. So I can't see that as anything but good. So I expect to see that predator trading will start to slacken off. Nobody wants to get caught when the rule changes, and maybe we will start to benefit from the great news that we've put out. I mean, wow, everybody around the world's interested in us, but it seems like the Canadian markets are not allowing the company to breathe. So, hey, hats off to these guys. So, Jim, I think that I'll wish everybody a great weekend, and I know I'm going to have one, and we'll go from there.
Larry, before you go, can you maybe give us just a small thumbnail of what American Manganese is about, where people can get more information and where you're traded?
Okay. The American Manganese is a critical metal company that first got involved in technologies and manganese back in 2009, and we patented a process for taking extremely low grades of manganese and making them competitive with the world for actually producing electrolytic manganese metal and electrolytic manganese dioxide. And we actually spent a lot of money and went through the whole pre-feasibility stage and permitting and everything like that to get this project underway, and only to lose out to a sliding commodity price. And that's usually what happens when China gets involved in building these factories. They overbuild and they over-stockpile. And the next thing you know, you're looking at lower prices. You've seen this in lithium itself. So what we did is we put the project on the shelf, and Cameco CEO phoned me up and said, look, I think this will work on these cathode materials and lithium-ion batteries. So we started to work on that about 3.5 years ago. Since then, we've gotten 2 patents with a third one that will be applied for. We've advanced the project through the pilot plant stage, and we're the only transparent company out there that when they say they can do something, they announce the results of our arm's length contractor, and you can actually find out all about that on our website, AmericanManganeseInc.com, or you can phone me at 778-574-4444, or you can email me at LREAUGH@AMYMN.com. We're traded on the Toronto Venture Exchange under the symbol AMY. We're traded in the U.S. under the symbol AMYZF. And we're traded in Frankfurt under the symbol 2AM.
Larry, thanks for the update.
You're welcome, Jim.
I've been speaking with Larry Reaugh, CEO and President of American Manganese. I'm Jim Goddard. Our conversation took place on November 22nd.
Comments made on Company Showcase are an expression of opinion only and should not be construed in any manner whatsoever as recommendations to buy or sell any financial instrument at any time. Archived online at HowStreet.com. Company Showcase is a production of How Street Media Incorporated.